For this discussion, I want to compare and contrast Puerto Rican women writers with regards to themes and style. I want to talk about The Child of the Americans by Aurora Livens Morales, and I also want to talk about the poem I Am What I Am by Rosario Morales. So for Child of the Americas, regarding the style, Livens Morales utilizes an assertive tone, and I feel like that makes the reader know it makes the reader know that she is eager to reveal her true identity. And she also gives out the visual imagery of describing the color of her skin, and also describing her tongue as a flashing knife blade of crystals, to symbolize how her language is a tool and it's powerful and it's valuable. She also has the repetition of I am, and she's able to emphasize that, so we know that she comes from a mixture of different cultures. And the poem's theme overall is the title that says Child of the Americas, and she's referring to her heritage, and it's used to represent the diversity she has within herself. It also describes how she comes from various cultures that compromise her heritage and her identity, and how she embraces all of her ethnicities. With the story I Am What I Am by Rosario Morales, I think the most important style that she uses is how she only has one period at the end of her piece, and she does that to enhance the title, same as the other poem, Child of the Americas. And her title, I Am What I Am, represents the theme of the poem, of it being to freely be who you are, basically. And it's interesting to know that it's also an allusion from God's answer to Moses, and Moses was the one that was leading the Hebrews out of Egypt, and I think that can correlate with Rosario Morales being able to get readers out of the mentality that they have to stay in this unsure place with themselves, and rather they can be out and be free to find themselves with the sense of pride with their identity. She also demonstrates the prideful tone, and it's also very determined. So to let the reader know that she for real doesn't care about what the US has done anymore, because she knows that they will never be able to take away her true identity, and her being a proud Puerto Rican. So overall, these women are important figures, and they show the confidence in being who you truly are. They are accepting of different cultures that make them who they are. And at first, I thought that it would have focused more on the woman's struggles, but I think the poems are more general and the themes are universal, so many readers could relate. I think that's why poems are so important, because one can easily feel understood and feel inspired to change some part in a positive way. Yeah, the poems are about Puerto Ricans, and they were Puerto Rican women, and how they have different cultures to identify with, but I feel anyone can, in general, anyone who was born with different cultures can relate, and they can feel they're not alone.